Namaste to all. What should we do when we are angry? A very good question asked by someone, and my Guruji has responded to him. This is available in the website vedmandir.com. I would also suggest you to visit this website. In the website, there is a tab called Question and Answers. If you go and click there, there is a link, and if you go inside the link, there are thousands, hundreds, and thousands of question answers. You can read it, it's very interesting. So, my Guruji writes, anger actually is the most dangerous enemy for the humans. If a person is not able to control his anger, he does not need to make enemies because automatically the enemies are created against him to destroy both his life and peace. Also, added to that, greed, pride, sensuality are also enemies. Now, question arises that how anger, etc., are controlled. Then the learned of Vedas, that is an Acharya, has no way to give a correct answer because at last all the answers go in vain and anger continues in action. So, correct Vedic answer is this, that one should listen to Vedas and then, under guidance of a learned of Vedas, he must do daily Havan with Ved mantras. Havan means Agnihotra, name jap of formless Almighty God, and practice of Ashtanga Yoga philosophy. If on the earth a person follows the said path, then a time comes when the devotee becomes able to control most of the vices, that is the enemies like anger, pride, sensuality, etc. Otherwise, all effects are of no use. So now my Guruji has also pasted one of his article on controlling anger. I am going to read out for you again. Controlling anger. It is very difficult to exercise control over anger because it relates to Raj, Tam and Sato Guna of Prakriti. Secondly, it relates to the previous lives and present lives deeds also. Thirdly, very few want to control anger, sensuality, greed, ego, pride, etc. because they usually do not follow the eternal path of Vedas, which enables an aspirant to control the anger. There is a symbolic story in Chandogya Upanishad that once sense organs of eye, ear, nose, tongue and skin started fighting amongst each other to establish their own supremacy over others. This is a symbolic story. Then I was asked to fight against Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Ahankar, that is sensuality, anger, greed and pride. When I was about to fight against these vices, I was attacked and defeated by these. Similarly, all other sense organs, that is ear, nose, tongue, skin, could not overpower these vices, that is these enemies. At last, Pran, that is the breath, prepared itself to fight, and immediately all the vices together attacked the Pran, but they were destroyed like a ball of clay which is hit against the mountain and gets shattered. Then all the sense organs accepted Pran, that is the breath, as supreme power amongst all. It is a symbolic story, the idea of which is that if an aspirant does pranayam under the advice of a learned Acharya of Vedas and Ashtanga Yoga philosophy, then only anger is controlled or other sensuality, pride, etc. is controlled. How beautifully my Guruji has written. Then again my Guruji is adding, I mean to say that one must go ahead with this Vedic worship like name jap, performance of yajna and yoga philosophy. Then one day he will be able to control the anger. Otherwise, mere bookish knowledge and listening of pravachan will be of no use. But worship should be continued by every person, then only he will be able to reach this stage. The difference also has been mentioned by Yogeshwar Sri Krishna Maharaj in Gita Shloka 2 by 59. 2 by 59 shloka is very nice. I will also read out for you. Vishaya vinivartante nira हारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसो अप्यस्य param drishtava nivartate. The idea of this shloka is, O Arjun, Sri Krishna says, O Arjun, if a person has not realized the God, then he would try to forcibly suppress his senses, perceptions and mind, but the attachment of the senses, perceptions to the vices like anger, sensuality does not get finished. So when the suitable atmosphere becomes available, the person gets indulged in these vices. Similar views have also been told by respected Rishi Patanjali in Yoga Shastra 3 by 9 that even an aspirant who has studied Vedas and done hard practice of Ashtanga Yoga but not realized Almighty God, then he still attains wonderful stage where his sensuality, anger, pride and nature of doing sins gets suppressed for some time. That is, they become dormant, but it is not completely destroyed. And whenever the situation to commit sins becomes suitable, the tapasvi gets indulged in sins. This is mentioned in Yoga Shastra 3/9. What a great secret here. I would appreciate if you can listen again. It's a big secret given by my Acharya here. And Sri Krishna Maharaj also has told in the above shloka that the nature of doing sins is totally burnt only after realization of God. So Patanjali Rishi in his Sutra 4/29, 30, 31 and 32 states that a yogi who attains a Dharamega Samadhi where he realizes Almighty God, then only all his klesh, that is the sins, previous life's deeds are totally burnt. So in the absence of this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Shastra, but basically in the absence of knowledge of Vedas, innocent people get entangled in false magnetizing field created by false saints who are against the Vedas, and public surrenders his mind, intellect, bodies, wealth to the false saints who are looting the public. Such saints proclaim themselves to be gods, or they claim that they have controlled their senses, but the true fact is stated above in Gita shloka as well as Yoga Shastra Sutra, which I discussed above. So public must be aware of this false saints. I would also, this is the article written by my Acharya. So controlling anger, to summarize, controlling anger is possible only by Vedic way of worship, listening Vedas from an Acharya, doing the daily Agnihotra, name jap and following Ashtanga Yoga philosophy. Then this controlling anger, or the anger, will go into the dormant stage. But then completely it gets destroyed only in Samadhi, that is the realization of Almighty God. This is the summary. I would also like to mention here that pranayam, my Guruji spoke about pranayam here, like in Chandogya Upanishad. Pranayam today is taught by everyone. If you open YouTube also, you can learn pranayam, but you should be very careful, because nobody, I repeat, nobody in this world can teach a pranayam other than a yogi who has attained Samadhi. Because based on my personal experience, I am saying everyone who teaches pranayam, who thinks themselves that they know pranayam, does not know it. The real method, the right method, is always taught only by a yogi. So we have to be in search of a yogi or an acharya who has controlled his mind, senses, perceptions, and has realized Almighty God. We have to go to this acharya to learn the vidya. Otherwise there won't be any benefit to us. We may be there are so many online classes that has come, like 1,000 rupees 1 week class, 2,000 rupees 50% discount due to COVID. All those things have come up, but end of the day, some people are teaching Shambhavi Mudra online classes, some people are teaching some other Kriya in online classes. 100% there won't be any benefit. In fact, these are anti-Vedic. So when we do anti-Vedic deeds, for sure God will punish us. So we have to be very careful, and we have to follow, and we have to revert back to the eternal Vedas philosophy. And Vedas philosophy we can learn only from an acharya. So I would time and again in all the videos I have requested to you, that you have to really search an acharya who has attained Almighty God. Otherwise there is absolutely no use in living a life, because our life is given by Almighty God to search Almighty God. So we have to search a master first who knows this Almighty God. I hope this video was useful to you. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.